start this by asking Arnab about his academic journey, professional journey, and then we'll start talking about something about data, AI, finance, fintech. So that's what I think we will discuss today. Yeah.
Thank you, Pawan. It's a great pleasure to meet my dear colleagues, PD and Pawan, every time there is an opportunity. So when I started my career in Jamshedpur, Tata Motors, it's a subsidiary of Tata Motors at that time, I had little clue what I want to do, as with most of us, okay. I was actually teaching in IOCL and somebody was asking, why did you leave investment banking? It is a common question that keeps on coming. I'm sure it bothers my colleagues as well. Why did you leave investment banking? Because it's such a coveted job, it is pay packages are so good. And particularly, why did you come back to academics? And now I'm beyond an age where I have to give a diplomatic answer. So I can be honest everywhere. I don't have any issues. If you are not curious to know about 10 different things, if you are not asking people and learning from your colleagues, you are losing out on some fun aspect of your life.
So tell us more about what is happening in analytics and finance and finance and data.
And you read so much about AI, right? You read newspapers daily, right? What happens? What do you see is happening?
Previously, tech and many other areas were sort of distinct. But now you are working in a fintech organization, and I have just invited, hopefully Paramdeep will agree, to come to IIM Calcutta to take a lecture on fintech related topics in a program that we have on fintech and financial blockchain. He is a regular instructor in many of our programs. And I will also catch hold of Pawan, let me not leave him aside. One thing that we can increasingly see is this fintech and its disruption, as we call it, in traditional modes of business delivery. Because I primarily focus on the finance side, I can tell you how fintech is already impacting things. The UPI thing is already something that you are aware. It is disrupting almost all the aspects of banking and financial services. For example, insurance. Insurance domain, typically if you see 5 years back, there used to be few standard insurance policies. Okay. For example, if you want to take health insurance, the data that I will ask for is what is your age and maybe some standard biometric tests. On that basis, you will be asked to pay premium. But you can clearly understand that even in this room, someone is active, regularly exercises, someone is, more on binge eating fast food, and there is somebody maybe with some kind of, pre-existing ailments or propensity towards certain ailments. But before this data analytics revolution, there was no easy way to identify and segregate from an insurance perspective, if I may say, who is a bad customer, who is a good customer, in the sense that what is the probability, if you understand probability, that you will actually raise a claim, insurance claim, and ask for that benefit. So if I know based on additional data points that the probability of you suffering from a medical illness is more than somebody else, I should charge a higher premium to you. Currently what is happening is, because there is no segregation, there is what is called as an adverse selection risk. So the good person is paying more and compensating for the bad person. So already this disruption is happening where we are leaving our footprints everywhere. So therefore I have just now purchased some items. So already that is there in the data web, and somebody, I'm sure, must be already analyzing that data. And from that data, similarly, I have a DigiYatra app. So already from which location I'm moving to which location. So there is a mind-boggling amount of data which is actually the digital footprint which is being created, which will go to the next stage to solve a lot of business problems. I mean, sky is the limit. If you have data, there are so many things that one can easily think of. A lot of things are happening in the financial inclusion space. Financial inclusion meaning how credit deprived as a nation we are, both at an individual level as well as at a business entity level. So there is a huge untapped market over there where a lot of organizations, a lot of individuals are unable to take loans, small ticket loans. For example, my driver or my cook or my maid servant, they need 10,000 rupee loan. Where do they go? So therefore, fintech has already come into that space. Unfortunately, now whenever innovation happens, you will have some entrepreneurs rushing into that area, but in that rush, they will also make a lot of mistakes. So Paytm is a classic example which you can see.
You know that lots of data is being generated, right? And a lot of this data was being analyzed by human beings, analysts for equity research. And let us say now with AI coming in, which can read text, which can read numbers, right? Do you see some places, some trends where actually a model or a large model AI can, really do some jobs better than human beings? Okay? And are there, places where you see that fine, even with lots of, intellectual power or competition that we get through an AI model, will still need human beings. So that, especially in the context of finance, especially maybe corporate finance or maybe the kind of area that you essentially work on.
Yeah, so I ask the same question to myself and even in the classroom. Do you need to come to the classroom to learn from me? Because this is something that I have to ensure. For example, I am teaching corporate finance. There is already a chat GPT where each and every question which you might ask me, you can ask a chat GPT engine. So therefore, each one of us have to ask this question that in the chat GPT era, whatever I am doing, can it be replaced by another machine which can do it far better than me? And here the answer is mixed in the sense that there are few things which I previously was doing which I don't need to do now, clearly. Okay. There are a lot of doubts in my classroom which you might have asked me, which you can easily go and ask ChatGPT and it will give you a better answer. Not only that, it is not a tool for learning for you, it is also a tool for learning for me. So even these days when I have a doubt, I don't solely depend on ChatGPT, but I'll definitely go and check what is the response which ChatGPT is giving me, and sometimes I'm benefited. It's just like reading from a book or a newspaper. The same job is being done by scanning thousands of books and giving me a crisp summary. But taking the discussion to a slightly philosophical level, and I'll not go there, although this is my newest interest area, maybe because I'm becoming slightly old. Consciousness is something which will continue to remain with human beings. Machines can never be conscious. We can call it in artificial intelligence, but machines are not conscious. We are the only conscious being, meaning we are the only entity who experience. I don't know if I am able to convey the philosophical significance of this, but my point is that the curiosity part, that only thing that will differ from me and ChatGPT is I am curious, which means I can constantly innovate, alter, ask different questions. So mechanical iterations, mechanical questions, fact-based information, machines are going to beat us, hands down. But that will not take away the power of creation, the power of innovation, the power of experience, the power of thinking out of the box. That I don't think will come very soon. We can be mini entrepreneurs while being in a ecosystem, but I think risk-taking ability is very important. So, which means essentially about going outside your comfort zone.
But I think this is one of the most interesting sessions that we've had. This is the real stuff that essentially how academia, how professors who have seen everything, understand how valuations work, how the whole why Paytm is down, and we are able to hear their perspective. I think this is pretty unique, pretty enriching.